Hey, movie fans, welcome back to Retro Movie Palace. I'm your host, Gert. Nick is in the background. Listen, we go in this channel when we're talking about 70s, 80s, and 90s movies. We go back in time a little bit. Today, we will tackle 10 facts you may not know about the movie Back to the Future.
What can we say about Back to the Future? It's a total classic, right? Loved by people of all ages? Absolutely. It's been 4 decades. But Back to the Future still continues to impress us with its amazing content. In 1985, some really cool movies came out like Mad Max, Beyond Thunderdome, and The Goonies. There were also awesome zombie movies like Reanimator, Day of the Dead, and Return of the Living Dead. Other great movies from that year were Brazil, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, The Breakfast Club, and Weird Science. Even the not-so-great movies of 1985 became famous, like American Ninja, Commando, Red Sonja, Invasion USA, and Gymkata. But the best movie of 1985 was Back to the Future. It's a funny sci-fi movie about time travel and some awkward family stuff. Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, goes back in time using Doc Brown's time machine. He has to make sure his parents fall in love or else he won't exist. But here are 10 things about Back to the Future that you probably didn't know. But before moving towards the facts, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Fact 1. The script was rejected over 40 times continuously. The script for Back to the Future faced a tough journey to the big screen. Bob Gale first got the idea in 1980, inspired by his father's high school yearbook. He wondered if he and his dad would have been friends in school. With Robert Zemeckis, Gale turned this idea into a screenplay. However, it took them 4 long years to find a studio willing to make their movie. Every major Hollywood studio rejected Back to the Future, sometimes more than once. In a time when edgy teen comedies like Porky's and Fast Times at Ridgemont High were popular, their script seemed too tame. They even tried offering it to Disney, but Disney thought it was too risky because of a subplot involving Marty's mom unknowingly falling for her own son. Ultimately, after being turned down over 40 times, Universal Pictures finally accepted the script. Fact 2. Eric Stoltz's surprising presence in the final movie. Eric Stoltz's brief stint as Marty McFly is well known, but did you know he actually appears in the final movie? Thomas F. Wilson, who played Biff Tannen, revealed that Stoltz's fist is visible in the diner scene set in 1955. Wilson believes they didn't reshoot the scene, making it one of the few moments where Stoltz remains in the film. Despite Stoltz's replacement by Michael J. Fox, this subtle cameo adds an interesting layer to the movie's history. It highlights the challenges faced during production and the creative decisions made to ensure the film's success. Stoltz's presence, even in a minor capacity, serves as a reminder of the intricate process behind the making of a beloved classic like Back to the Future. Fact 3. Shemp the Chimp and the Spaceman from Pluto. Universal Pictures executive Sidney Sheinberg once suggested changing the title of Back to the Future to Spaceman from Pluto. This was tied to a joke where Marty McFly would be mistaken for an alien in the past. Director Robert Zemeckis and writer Bob Gale didn't want to argue with their boss, so they turned to Steven Spielberg for help. Spielberg cleverly responded to Sheinberg's memo with humor, making him abandon the idea. Although some of Sheinberg's ideas were accepted, like renaming characters, others, like replacing Doc Brown's chimp with a dog, were rejected. Sheinberg believed movies with chimpanzees didn't make money, but Gale pointed out a successful film with an orangutan. Sheinberg's quirky ideas added a humorous twist to the making of this beloved film. Fact 4. Bob Gale got the idea for Back to the Future. Bob Gale's inspiration for Back to the Future struck as he sifted through his father's high school yearbook in the family basement. Contemplating the idea of befriending his father at the same age, Gale shared his musings with Robert Zemeckis. Together, they crafted a high-concept narrative around 3 key pillars: a teenage protagonist catapulted into the past, a pivotal encounter with his parents during their adolescence, and the comedic yet poignant predicament of his mother developing feelings for him. From this foundation, they meticulously fleshed out the storyline into a full-fledged screenplay, laying the groundwork for the beloved film that has endured across generations. Fact 5. John Lithgow as Doc Brown? Initially, John Lithgow was considered for the role of Doc Brown in Back to the Future. Neil Canton, a producer, had previously collaborated with Lithgow on The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, where Lithgow portrayed Dr. Emilio Lizardo. However, Lithgow wasn't available. Christopher Lloyd, also from Buckaroo Banzai, was then suggested by Canton. Lloyd initially hesitated due to a potential off-Broadway role, but was persuaded by his wife to take on the part. His portrayal of Doc Brown was influenced by Albert Einstein and Leopold Stokowski, and his stooped appearance in the film was designed to ensure he and Michael J. Fox, who is significantly shorter, could share scenes effectively. Fact 6. The original script was different to the movie. The original script for Back to the Future underwent significant changes before reaching the screen. Initially, Marty's last name was McDermott, not McFly. The iconic clock tower climax was absent. Instead, Marty and Doc would visit a nuclear test site, but this was scrapped due to budget constraints. Originally, the film ended differently, with Doc not returning to take Marty and Jennifer on another adventure, but with George seeing Marty on stage in a 1955 newspaper. Additionally, Doc was supposed to have a pet chimp named Shemp, but this was changed to a dog named Einstein at the insistence of Universal executive Sid Sheinberg, who believed movies with chimps didn't make money despite Gale's reference to Every Which Way But Loose. Fact 7. Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly. From the outset, Robert Zemeckis aimed to cast Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. However, Fox's commitments to the sitcom Family Ties made him unavailable. Instead, actor Eric Stoltz was chosen for the role. Stoltz, known for his intense performances in films like Mask, 1985, and Some Kind of Wonderful, 1987, brought a brooding energy unsuitable for the film's light-hearted tone. Despite his efforts to prepare for the role by mastering skateboarding and guitar playing, Stoltz's insistence on remaining in character at all times, even off-camera, created tensions on set. When Fox suddenly became available during filming, Stoltz was replaced. Although the incident didn't derail Stoltz's career, he never reached the same level of stardom as his replacement. Fact 8. The final scene of the movie is hinted at in the opening sequence. In Back to the Future, foreshadowing is skillfully woven throughout the film, with one of the most notable instances occurring right at the beginning. As the movie kicks off, Marty arrives at Doc's empty lab, and the camera pans across various timepieces adorning the walls. Among them, one clock displays a figure dangling perilously from its hands. This image serves a dual purpose. It's a nod to a famous scene from Harold Lloyd's silent-era comedy, Safety Last, 1923, and it also hints at the climactic moment where Doc finds himself hanging precariously from the clock tower. This early glimpse sets the stage for the intricate web of foreshadowing that unfolds throughout the rest of the film. Fact 9. A tighter budget led to creative solutions. With a tighter budget looming due to the decision to replace Eric Stoltz with Michael J. Fox as the lead in Back to the Future, the filmmakers faced a challenge. Losing over 6 weeks of shoots and about $5 million from the budget, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale had to adapt quickly. Originally, the movie's climax was set at a nuclear test site in Nevada, echoing an earlier scene. However, due to financial constraints, they revamped the finale. Lightning striking the Hill Valley Courthouse's clock replaced the costly nuclear blast scene. This adjustment not only saved money but also enhanced the film's focus and symbolism. It's an example of how limitations can lead to creative solutions in filmmaking. And speaking of clocks, fact 10. Initially, the time machine wasn't a DeLorean. Originally, the iconic time machine in Back to the Future wasn't a DeLorean car. Initially, it was conceptualized as a time chamber, or even a giant refrigerator reminiscent of the 1950s. Concerns about safety arose, particularly regarding children potentially imitating the scenes and getting trapped in refrigerators. Director Robert Zemeckis, along with producer Steven Spielberg, decided to scrap these ideas. Zemeckis then proposed using a car as the time machine, enabling mobility and more thrilling scenarios. The DeLorean was chosen for its futuristic and sleek appearance, enhancing the visual appeal of the time-traveling adventures. This decision transformed the DeLorean into an immortal symbol of the film, synonymous with time travel and adventure. In the end, Back to the Future remains an iconic film that continues to fascinate audiences worldwide, even nearly 4 decades after its release. Its blend of adventure, humor, and heartfelt moments, coupled with its timeless themes of friendship, love, and the consequences of our actions, ensure its enduring appeal across generations. As we reflect on these 10 fascinating facts about the film, let us not only celebrate its legacy, but also appreciate the creativity and dedication of the cast and crew who brought this cinematic masterpiece to life. If you enjoyed learning more about Back to the Future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.